Hello, everyone. Is this thing on? I'm assuming you guys can hear me. You can't hear myself on the stream. Okay, great. Hello, everyone. I'm Captain Ezekiel, and joining me today is Nico with a C. You want to introduce yourself?
Hello, gamers. My name is Nico with a C. I also used to run this game, not as religiously as Zeke, but I dabbled in it a little bit and can't wait to see some cool races.
Yes, sir. Alright, so we are doing a New Game Plus Easy race. We were supposed to have Impossible versus Apples just before this, but unfortunately Apples was getting owned by their internet, unfortunately. But we are going to have Freggel versus Dynasty. Now this is going to be kind of a unique race where we have Freggel, who is on the Steam version on
everyone.
PC, versus Dynasty, who's on Sarah you guys can hear me. Now we have rules set in place that would equalize out the time differences between the censored version and the uncensored version, but since these two are kind of mixed and matched, there'll be no time allowances given to either of them, so it's just going to be whoever's the fastest time at the end with in-game time will be the winner. Okay, so great. We are going to let the runners know. So let me, real quick, I will get ready to count them in. And then once we count them in, we will be good to go. And Nico, I'm just asking Dynasty if he's ready, so if you want to...
Doing the same for Freggel.
Great. Alright, so are you ready to count down?
Nope. Gotta wait a little second. Freggel's asking for a second.
Okay.
Okay, Freggel says he's ready.
Okay, so I'm going to count down. So 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so let's see if the runners sync up here. Just want to see if they're going to start.
There's gonna be a little bit of delay, obviously, from when they start to when we can see it, but it should work out.
Yeah, it should catch. Oh, we just got a ping to not start, actually. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
They might. Okay, no, it looks like they're good.
Hey, guapo.
Yeah, it's not bleeding through anywhere. Okay, I think it's good. All right, great.
It should be fine.
And they're relatively synced up. That's actually surprising.
Sure. Yeah, only like a 2-second difference. Completely fine.
That's huge. Okay, so RE7. We'll just give, if you're new here, we'll just get this out of the way now. So, if you're unfamiliar with RE7, this is essentially the first true first-person experience put into the RE engine for RE. It's a great game, very horror atmosphere, amazing game, just all around, right? A lot of spooks, a lot of good survival horror gameplay. You play as Ethan Winters, who is going to Dulby, Louisiana to save his wife, Mia, who's this lady on the screen. She's crazy, but it is what it is.
We love crazy women.
Yeah, we do. There's gonna be a couple things we'll explain lore-wise, but we're mostly gonna focus just on the actual race itself. What we have here is Freggel, who is what is Freggel's place on the leaderboard here?
I think it was 11th on PC 100%.
I believe so. Freggel is relatively new to running RE7. Actually, he only just recently started picking it up. I believe this year. Running mostly like the cutscene skip version of the game, which he actually just recently got cutscene skip world record for this category. And yeah, he is 11th on the main boards right now. Not running Sarah D, so he's actually the fastest non-Sarah D runner. And Sarah D is the censored version of the game, for those wondering. Dynasty, on the other hand, no slouch. He is the console record holder for the game. So we actually have two heavy hitters playing right now. Yeah, Dynasty broke the console world record about a year ago, and he's the first one to hold that record, I think, in a very, very long time. So super, super good runner as well. So you're gonna see some duking it out, and hopefully both runners have a clean run. But there are definitely moments where bad things happen to good people in this game. So we hope we don't see those. But yeah, now we're gonna start Guest House, and Nico knows as well as anyone that we love Guest House.
Guest house is the best house, as we always say. Obviously, there's going to be differences in terms of console versus PC. We can talk about that a little bit as we try to visit Daddy here in a second. There's the very obvious one, aiming, Zeke. PC is obviously always going to have like a little bit of edge to it. How do you think that's going to affect it for like Dynasty in terms of the total race?
Yeah, so the console is very limited on their turn speed, right? Because they don't get the option to increase their sensitivity as much as like PC can, because we have DPI to work with. So you're gonna notice that the two runners might handle strats a little bit differently as kind of like a caveat to like what it's like running on console versus PC. So there's certain things that Dynasty won't do on console because they're simply not time viable. However, this did change when the new generation of the game came out with the new generation consoles. So Dynasty, I believe, is on a Series S or Series X, whatever the new Xbox is. So he has the quicker load times and FPS options. So he will be able to switch FPS in certain areas, and he will be able to do a lot of the retries that console used to not be able to do that you will also see Freggel do. So in terms of like aiming everything, you'll notice that snapping his camera around to hit quick shots is not exactly viable on console, but it will be for Freggel here. So there's going to be a bit of a difference there. There's also going to be a difference in load times. Now, the ending in-game time is what's going to be taken as the result of the winner. So retries, FPS changes that you will see lose RTA time, which you'll kind of see Dynasty fall behind on his timer up top there. That's because his timer is not actually an RTA loadless time. Which isn't relevant to what his actual endgame time will be. So keep that in mind. So you'll see a lot of FPS changing and retrying and stuff, and that's all gonna not count against their actual end result.
For sure. And we just saw two instances of a little bit of, like, I wouldn't call it tech, but like speed tech, I guess you could call it. It's like the retries, obviously, we do the retries to get movement speed bump up for Ethan, because for some reason this game, if you do certain retries, the game thinks that you've already been in this area and died, so therefore it's kind of like trying to push you forward still a little bit. Says, okay, you can get the higher movement speed this time around. For some reason, that works on that specific retry that we just did. And then the 30 FPS you saw Freggel do as well. I think our good friend Niddle has a very good term for it. You're jumping into a bucket of butter or something like that.
Yeah, a big vat of butter. It's a reference Niddle and myself like to make, because an old runner, Moon Runes, used to say that a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is that you would jump into it's like Ethan jumps to a big vat of butter and he kind of slides his way through the hole. It's weird, but it makes sense when you think about it. But yeah, that is how it works. But yeah, you'll see a lot of that here. And the start of the run, if you haven't already picked up, is a little bit slow. RE7 is very notorious for its slow intro, where you see they're kind of just going to find Mia right now, and she's going to be sleeping in a cell up ahead here. So our runners are going to go pick up a bolt cutters, get her freed out, and kind of wait behind her. Now, we do have a little bit of a walking section where we have to walk behind Mia. You'll notice a couple things that they're doing here. So getting directly in front of the door to use the item so they don't get animation pulled to it, that saves like a noticeable amount of time. Trying to walk before picking up items. Now that's a tech that's actually easier on console than it is on PC, because the way you can quickly crouch and uncrouch, or just to release the sprint when you're turning and moving. So you'll see a lot of strafing done by Dynasty to save time picking up items, because when you're walking and you pick up a key item, it picks up faster than you would if you were running. So there's gonna be a couple little text nuances like that. This is actually gonna be, you would normally say that console versus PC would be a very like big gap between like a race. And I think this is going to be an instance where that's not going to be the case, because Dynasty is like absolutely no slouch. So I'm very interested to see how this actually plays out.
Yeah, I was very hyped to see. Just always, I love to see like the differences between PC and console, and specifically when there's like this little of a gap between these two players, it's going to be even more intense. Also because Freggel is running on the Steam version, which bumps it down, so we don't have to do any math, which is Very appreciated.
Yeah. So yeah, so what Nico's talking about there is if there's a version of this game called Sero D, which is the censored Japanese version of the game. It saves about 23.5 seconds over the Steam version or the uncensored version. Uh, we would, if there was a runner who was running against another runner using that, we would take the time difference and give it back to the Steam runner so that it's fair. However, we were also going to do that for anyone running on console, but since Dynasty is playing on Sero D on console and Freggel is playing on Steam on PC, it's going to cancel both out. So no time adjustments are going to need to be made for this essentially. So we don't need to do math.
Exactly.
And boy, are we happy about it.
I hate math.
We absolutely hate math in these parts. We also, if you do !mark RE7, that's our Discord and the challenge bracket. If you guys want to see the bracket that's lined up there, we're doing just 4 matches today, or I guess just 3 since the Puzz match and the Apples match got canceled. If you want to see what it's going to look like today, then tomorrow we're going to do the last 4, which is going to be the semis, the finals, and then the 3rd place match to determine who gets 3rd, because this tournament does pay out. We did do a tournament once before that did not, so we decided to do one this time around that does incentivize the runners a little bit. So I believe the structure that I had in place is first place is going to get 300 smackaroos, second place is going to get 150, and third will get $50.
That is a lot of smackaroonies.
That is a lot of money to be walking behind Mia for. I'll tell you that.
We're almost done with walking behind Mia, though.
Yeah, we are actually almost done with walking behind Mia. Now we just have to wait for her to get kidnapped. So we're almost there.
True, true. And there is like a little bit of a trigger that you have to hit here. You might want to talk about that a little bit. Like, obviously not the doll one that you always do. But
Yeah.
there's a specific point you have to stand. And you can see Dynasty already staring at the wall very intensely. And
Yeah,
doll play as well.
So Freggel picks up the dolls because he knows that's what a real one does. If you go into this room, you have to stand a little bit beyond this pillar so that Mia can get kidnapped. Because if you're too close to Mia, or if you're looking at her, it won't let her get kidnapped. It's a trigger that's like forced. They kind of want you to explore the room, and suddenly she gets taken. But if you just stand there, you can make it happen there. And now, this is where you're going to see a little bit of a difference, because Freggel's playing on Steam, which I'm not sure if he's on down-patched Steam or if he's on current patch. I believe he's on current patch Steam. The game changes a little bit like this with this first Mia interaction with getting her to stand up. Now, this is your first instance of like actual player-controlled speedrun tech where you need to get Mia to stand up as fast as possible, which means you have to stand in a specific spot to line up and wait for her to get up. Hopefully, if done correctly, the runners will stand in a certain spot and Mia will just get up after a few seconds. So we'll see how that goes in a moment, and then following that will be the first boss fight, quote-unquote. I guess you can call it more of a mini-boss. It's just the Mia 1.
Well, I mean, it's Mia 1. It's a boss fight. It can kill runs, so.
Oh, it absolutely can kill runs, yeah.
Automatically boss fight.
Automatic boss fight.
Yeah, we are aware at the moment that we can't really get audio from Dynasty for whatever reason. So even though Dynasty is a little bit of a hat, we are going to stick by Freggel's audio just so you guys also can actually hear the game.
Yeah, and on that same note, language. You're going to notice that they're in... I can't tell what language Freggel's using. Is that...
That sounds Spanish.
I think it's Spanish. Yeah, Spanish is the fastest language in the game. This was actually recently discovered. Italian and German are not that much slower. The slowest language, unfortunately, is English, even though the English VAs are amazing.
True.
But you see, they're going to purchase 2 So yeah, Freggel is playing on current patch, so he's going to go heal himself since he has to line up differently. Dynasty's going to kind of walk over Mia now, and she's going to wake up. Fregel's going to kind of do the same thing, where he kind of walks over her to get her to stand up. Just like that.
Oh,
nice.
Both got it. Nice. And Mia 1 on Dynasty side. Pick up the axe. We're going to crouch at a specific moment, and then we're going to hopefully get a multi-hit. I'm not sure if that's doable on console, but looks like he got what he needed at least. Wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
2 hits.
Yeah, so actually, it looks like both runners got like basically the 1 cycle, which is like a 1 hit. Dynasty did the extra hit to be safe, but actually both runners 1 hit. Console can 1 hit Mia now, now that they have the high frame rate mode. So both runners actually 1 hitting Mia. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one
very,
of those.
very good start.
Yeah, it's super good. So that's one of those console versus PC differences you saw. Freggel spun around after he hit Mia because if you do that, she'll grab you faster. Dynasty can't really do that because controller spinning around is not really a thing you can do.
Yeah, if he does that, he's gonna get hit instead. No.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of difference there, but they both are having pretty clean guest houses so far. Seen no issues yet. But then again, we saw a funny second encounter with Mia coming up momentarily, and that's where it actually can go off the rails a bit.
Oh yeah. First part is fine. First part is just a lot of menuing, doing item interactions correctly, stuff like that. Like you're gonna see here with the bolt cutters, need to be in a specific spot for it to do it as fast as possible. Otherwise, as Zeke was talking about earlier, it's gonna like pull you in, and you're gonna lose valuable seconds from that. But the last part that we're coming up to, that's what makes or breaks a good guest house.
Yeah. So after putting in the fuse, they're essentially going to hit another Mia jump scare here. And after that, like Nico was talking about, we're going to have the second Mia encounter. On easy, you really, really want to get a one hit on Mia 2. Significantly more doable and viable on PC. It is possible on console, it's just a lot harder. I'll be very impressed if Dynasty can do it in a race setting, because it's already hard to do in PC on a race setting, because you have nerves, you know, marathon nerves. Doing that on console in a race setting, that's bananas.
That will be insane, actually, if you did.
Yeah.
But you're gonna see the biggest difference in Surdy or not Surdy here. Dynasty going completely black, and Freggel not so much.
Yeah, so the Sarah D censorship takes out dismemberment, so you'll see this. You'll see some time change over on like in Jack 2 and in
no, not
the Snake Key.
Snake Key.
Yeah.
You can also pick up the arm.
You can pick up the arm. It doesn't do anything, but you can pick it up.
All right, there we go. Dynasty. I'm getting ready to go up the stairs. This is where it gets tense. There's also a small retry you can do here. Dynasty not going for it. Freggel might because of PC. Yep, he does. Pushes you forward just a little bit. Okay, let's see how it goes here for Dynasty. He's going to go up the ladder here, go onto the right side, line up, and then he's hoping to clip into Mia's model after she jumps down. Not too early or he's going to get bumped. Let's see. It's one hit, 2, 3. Oh, it's... Okay. It's going off the rails a little bit, Zeke.
A little bit. You see,
okay, she's dead. She's dead.
That's the unfortunate side of consoles. It's really hard to get those quick Mia kills because you're at a frame rate disadvantage. Whereas Freggel here did get the Mia one hit, so I think he pulls ahead a bit there as a result.
Yeah, they might get grabbed at the same time. Actually, they kind of killed her at
yeah, they're kind of synced up,
which is nice. Yeah, Dynasty not too happy about it, hitting the beam.
Yep. Trying to bring the whole house down. I respect it.
True. Okay, yeah.
Getting punched at the same time.
Very, very close. Neck and neck, basically. And yeah, now we're gonna get welcome to the family, and we're gonna have a little bit of a dinner with our new mother-in-law, father-in-law, whatever you want to call it.
The new fam.
We're gonna do fam, yeah.
The whole fam around the dinner table. So this is one of the last longer cutscenes for the first half of the game. But guest house is over now, which means the game's gonna pick up a considerable pace, and there's gonna be a lot of stuff happening very, very fast after this cutscene and the one following, where we have hallway, we have the out of bounds, which is gonna be quite interesting to see. The hallway, out of bounds, Jack 2, we're jumping around all over the place basically right after this. This is where the game like hextuples in speed. It starts to really change dramatically.
Oh yeah, this is where it opens up. Also, if you are, the kind of person that doesn't want to sit through guest house, we do have categories for that as well, called no guest house. So there's a little bit for everyone. We even have no cutscene. So many things you can run in this game.
Yeah, we have new stuff. Like Nico said, on the Steam version, we have cutscene skip, which skips all these cutscenes. It cuts about 20-something minutes off the run. I think it's about 22. And then no guest house. Factors adding more brings the run down to just under an hour. So if you want to run the game but you don't want to sit through cutscenes and you don't want to sit through guest house, I'd highly recommend taking a look at those categories.
Absolutely. And this food here, God, it looks yummy.
Delicious. I know Nico hasn't eaten yet, so he's just down for
Oh
this.
yeah, I'm so down for it. Also an LCS viewer here on the left.
Yeah. Biggest massive LCS fan.
Oh yeah, understandable. I've never heard the Spanish language actually.
It's one of the most like underused languages. It's okay, you know. I think the VAs did an okay job. It's just hard to like compare against like English and Japanese, where like the performances were just so crazy good.
Yeah,
like, it's so hard to like compete against those.
For sure. But
It is weird seeing on Freggel's screen Lucas has no arm, but then over on Dynasty's he has an arm.
Grandma sleeping, chilling.
She's not relevant. She's chilling.
Yeah, true.
She's
Surely
not
we won't see
important in
her.
the story. Yeah.
No. We won't see her later. Anyways, hallway Zeke, your favorite place.
Yeah. So
I'm
this
gonna
is
leave this
hallway.
all up to you.
Yeah. So both of the runners are gonna have to run past Jack to get the key next to him. Jack's behavior is random, which means that he will choose one of 3 options. When you run past him, one will be an insta grab, a lunge grab, or a swing. Both runners want a lunged missed grab. Let's
There we
see.
go.
They both got that.
Okay.
They have to interact with the door. Now, Dynasty is going to bait Jack back, and so is Freggel. They're actually doing the exact same thing. That's
He's doing the exact same attack as well. That's crazy.
Yeah, Dynasty had to block 2 hits, but both runners should be able to force a wall skip here. Oh, no, Dynasty got turboed.
Oh, and
Freggel just
Freggel.
missed it.
Oh no. Okay. So none of them got wall skip. So we're still on even footing, and both of them, lost equal amount of time. It seems kind of. Freggel maybe a little bit more because he tried to go for it twice. No grab from Jack either. Jack can just teleport behind you if you don't look behind you here, which is terrifying, and he just chops up your leg and stuff.
Yeah, that's actually so crazy that like
That
both
is.
of them went for it. Like they had the exact same hallway setup, like literally
Yeah.
identical setup. And then I thought for sure both of them were getting it too. 'cause
Yeah, I
Jack
thought for
was
sure
so
too.
far.
I didn't understand why Jack was so close for Dynasty. That was insane. Oh, okay. Freggel actually got something dubbed cheater skip, which is well, you can explain it much better than I can. See, you know the intricacies of it.
Oh yeah, so cheater. So this phone call, you saw Dynasty had to walk out of the room and walk back in to trigger it, whereas Freggel did not. If you have a high enough frame rate, this is a PC exclusive. If you have a high enough frame rate coming out of that hole, the game will transfer you between 3 different maps, and one of them is the outside Paris. If you leave the room at all, the call will go off. So when the game thinks you're out there, it's going to set the phone off. So if you have a high enough frame rate, you skip ever having to walk out of the room, and you just get the call for free. Saves about 3.5 seconds, so it's pretty substantial. But both runners now out of the room. You'll notice something on console that not many people are aware of, but very important to keep note of. The only way to switch ammo on console is to aim, to switch ammo types to your enhanced ammo. On console, if you try to do that, you stop and you aim, because it forces you to aim to do it. So you'll see Dynasty shoot, and then he will reload twice, so he can buffer that input without ever having to stop. So it's one of those little things you'll notice that you'll see him shoot randomly. It's because he's trying to do that, to switch his ammo types.
It kind of seems like a big oversight by the devs, like to just not add a button for it.
Yeah,
Or-
I mean, we look at a controller, it's like kind of hard to like, at least make it a button combination that doesn't involve having to aim.
Yeah, exactly. I get, casually you would never think of it, but it's stuff like that that annoys speedrunners.
Yeah,
But
Capcom's onto us.
we're the 1%. They don't care.
Yeah.
They really truly don't care about us.
All
So yeah,
right.
this deputy here, Deputy Anderson.
Yeah, he's having a good time.
Oh yeah, he's about to have
lives.
he's about to have a blast.
He lives. It's fine.
Hope this cop lives. He seems nice. Yeah, he's he'll live for a little bit. But yeah, we do get a pocket knife, and if this was knife only, game over. It's all easy from here.
Yeah,
I think Freggel also does knife only, if I'm not
he
mistaken.
does. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Freggel is a
Dyn-
knife only enjoyer.
Yeah. Well, enjoyer, painter, I would call it. But yeah, sure. Jack
so
won
we have-
though.
Jack won, yeah. And also, our runners have our New Game Plus items. We forgot to mention that. They pulled
Oh,
all
yeah.
the New Game Plus items out of the box, which is the important things is the infinite ammo and the circular saw. So I think they're going to approach this right differently. I think Dynasty's going to resort to shooting first, since he's on Zero D. So Jack's behavior in Jack 1 is different only on Zero D versus Steam. Freggel will saw Jack, I believe, until Jack staggers, and Dynasty will shoot Jack and walk away.
Yeah.
Now, this is another small time save for Sarah D.
I have never seen that strat before.
The way Freggel did there is actually really smart.
Yeah, I've
Shoot
never
Jack
seen that.
into the car faster. Yeah, that's actually really good. But they're essentially going to finish it the same way. They're going to saw him until he dies, just like that. Jack
Beautiful,
1,
honestly.
yeah, very, very easy fight and very methodical. You'll also see both runners are now changing their inventories, so they can have stuff in the exact place needed to, because RE7 has a very beautiful inventory where everything is in like real time. The game doesn't pause when you open it, so if you have your cursor in the right spot, you will use items instantly when you try to use them. So you'll see a lot of inventory setting up happening during this run.
Undisputed best inventory ever made for an RE game.
Yeah, absolutely. Just
I will take no questions.
so perfect. Yeah, and you'll notice too, if you're just joining us, you'll see some censorship on Dynasty's end. You'll see a lot of censorship in most people's versions. Yeah, Freggel is actually the odd man out here, using the uncensored version. But Sarah D's the censored Japanese version of the game. You won't see dismemberment. Heads getting cut off, arms getting cut off. You will not see that on Dynasty's end.
And this one right here is another console exclusive where, Dynasty have a little bit of difficulty doing that fast. But yeah, basically, Freggel can move around the piece that he needs there easier. Dynasty needs to resort to doing, what's it called? Quick turn.
He does like yeah,
does a quick turn, which also in turn turns the thing that he wants to look at from behind. So a little bit of difference there, but Freggel pulling ahead a little bit. I think it's a little bit difficult to tell because we are going off of in-game time and Dynasty's isn't showing until the end of it. And it's also going to be difficult for Dynasty because he doesn't know what his in-game time is at all. Because usually what console players will do is they'll go into the options to see at certain times what their time is to know if they're ahead or behind. So he just kind of has to go off of feeling here, which is kind of terrifying, but maybe also alleviating for him, so he doesn't have to worry too much and just, full focus.
Yeah, absolutely. And now the runners are going to grab a couple items, basically just the dog head and the pendulum from downstairs. They're going to set up for the out of bounds. Now, I believe both runners are on the DX12 version of the game, even though one's on Steam, one's on Sarah D. And I'm pretty sure since neither of them have wall skip, this is going to be very interesting how they actually go about this. Jack's behavior here requires a very specific setup, and without having wall skip, you kind of have to work with him a little bit here. So the idea is you need to get Jack slowed down so you can kind of bait him around the house and do a couple key puzzles before letting him push you out of bounds. You're going to see the runners shooting in a bunch of different random places. This is to bait Jack's AI to either slow him down or speed him up. Now, what he does kind of changes. So, like in Freggel's case, Jack is still upstairs. In Dynasty's case, Jack is also so they're gonna both force a wall break here. And when this happens, they're gonna try to stun Jack so they can get around him.
There you go. Freggel's good. See if Dynasty is as well. Oh, he misses the first shot, but he should be fine still.
Yeah, he got the second one there. If Jack's too close, they can't do this puzzle, and they need to be able to do it. Freggel gets it.
Okay. Rage for Dynasty. Also, yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Very, very good. That's kind of scary because when he does the wall break there, you really don't have any time to mess up afterwards. And Jack's movement speed is kind of weird as well with how fast he wishes to walk into the hallway. Dynasty actually opting to open the doors here, try to see if he can find him. Hopefully he doesn't do the kick animation to the door. Should be fine. Okay, so Dynasty is fine. Freggel is now doing the later part. Oh no, Jack is being memey.
Jack is stuck on the door.
Yeah, door is way too hard for him. He's gonna kick the door open. He needs to walk away here, by the way.
Yep.
Okay, no, so he's fine. He's fine.
Now Jack's coming. Freggel makes it.
Yep, Freggel, pretty good out of bounds, honestly. And Jack is now hitting nothing.
Yeah, he's doing the Jack Baker thing.
He's fighting his demons on the stairs. This is truly unfortunate for Dynasty. He's going to lose a bunch of time here and does not really anything he could have done about it, honestly. At least from what I could see.
Yeah, Jack kind of just trolled really hard there. But he makes it out anyways. It's maybe about 30 seconds. I'd say he lost there just about. It does take just one mishap to really turn the tides again on this. There isn't really RNG in this, so it's really all up to runner's skill. To determine how they're gonna handle the rest of the game. So if Freggel makes a pretty big mistake, Dynasty can bring it back. Granted,
sure.
we don't really know what the time difference truly is because of the console versus PC moment. So we'll see what the in-game time really looks like.
Oh yeah. We can probably assume that Dynasty is behind now though, just because of the out of bounds. We don't know how much though, obviously. Jack 2 coming up though is I wouldn't say a pain point for most people, but it's definitely a point where you can lose a lot of time. All the boss fights are. They are very, very optimized. So, Zeke, take it away with how you should approach this fight.
Yeah, so you're going to see Freggel start the fight, and what you want to do is stand as close to Jack as you can and get one Albert shot off as soon as he loses iframes. If done correctly, you can get him to drop. So you see Freggel taking a step back. This loses time because Jack has to now walk around the room a little bit to get to where he needs to be, but it guarantees he won't get grabbed. So Freggel taking a little bit safe there, and he has to just do the exact same thing one more time where he shoots Jack again and saws him until he dies.
And waits for the iframes to drop. Beautiful. And now it's just sawing party until Jack dies. And because he's on Steam, this is going to take a little bit longer actually. Because he's going to wander around for a little bit before he actually explodes.
Yep, you're going to notice Dynasty kind of closed the gap a little bit here, and this is due to the Steam versus Sarah D difference.
Dynasty also opting for the more risky strat here, where he actually just doesn't move, stands right in front of him. But beautifully done. And yeah, Dynasty pulling it back a little bit.
Both runners handling Jack 2 with ease.
And it's time to leave the main house, Zeke. Time to get out of here. We can go home now, right?
We get to, yeah, we're done. We won. We beat the game.
World record, wow.
Great job, everyone. We can go home. Pack it up, boys.
True.
Yeah, that is the end of the main house. And both runners going to go drop the dog heads into the main door. Now they have all the pieces that they need, and they can just get on out of here.
Yep. I think, is this the Scorpion key that he's going to get? Yeah, this is the Scorpion key.
Yep. They got to pick up the Scorpion key here first so they can actually get out.
It's been a while since I've run this, but I remember. I dabbled. We're going to come here later as well for another key, and there's going to be one specific crawler that can just end your life, but we'll get there when we get there. Before that, though, we're going to go and visit the trailer and then the old house, which is, in my opinion, old house is one of the harder places in the run because it has a lot of small stuff that you have to do optimally, specifically around March. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, no, I'd be inclined to agree because you have a lot of things to do in the old house. Like you have the March 1 fight, you have the Lantern skip, and then you have the March 2 fight, as well as like certain interactions, getting around March while she's pathing. Yeah, there's a lot going on in old house for sure.
And
but first, we have to talk to Zoe.
Yes, we have to. And who is Zoe, you might ask? She is the daughter of Jack and Marguerite, and she is also infected, question mark, but not as far as the other people.
Yeah.
That's about as much as I can remember about her lore.
Yeah, that's basically true. She's here. She's helping.
Yeah, she helps a lot, and then we don't help her. Spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler alert, we will not be saving. If you played this casually, like, I wonder who they're going to save, I'm going to go ahead and cut your dream short right now. We are saving Mia, unfortunately, in this run.
Yeah, we wish we didn't have to. But it is faster to save Mia by, I think, like 40 seconds or something insane.
Yeah, it's about 1 minute. If you save Zoe, you have to watch a cutscene, and then you have to fight an extra boss.
Yeah, which is Mia, by the way. And you only have a crowbar, so it's like Mia 3. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like Half-Life Mia. You have to fight her with a crowbar like you're Gordon Freeman.
True. All right. Start of old house here. There are some hives that we need to, or sorry, not hives, nests that we need to take care of. They're in specific order. So the first one you saw there, he just kicks 2 shots into it, which makes it a little bit smaller, which means we can crouch under it. And then he's going to take care of it on the way out here, perhaps. No, he's just going to opt to crouch under it again. But there is a little bit of a trick here. Yeah, go ahead.
On console, it's probably easier to just saw that since weapon swapping on console is not as fluid as it is on PC.
For sure. But yeah, you're gonna see Freggel here turn to 30 FPS and then saw the door instantly, and that's gonna allow him to actually just push through the door so much faster. For whatever reason, 30 FPS just makes it faster. Not sure why.
Yeah, it's weird. So when you switch to 30, it lets you hit all the spiders at once or something, and it's very, very strange.
Beautiful spider statuette. All of these are doable in like one motion with the mouse. It's a little bit harder on console. You have to align a little bit more. And apparently this one, I think, once again, our good friend Niddle says that it's just free. It will take anything. Zeke disagrees a little bit with that one.
Yeah, this puzzle is actually just so cursed. They're all like relatively easy, but this one, like when you're on like PB pace or God forbid like record pace, and that puzzle just doesn't take the input. For me, on the other hand, it feels incredibly finicky and super sensitive, and I don't know why, but that's just a me problem.
Yeah, some would say skill issue. Not me personally.
It could be. You could say
that. All right, one of the most used assets in RE games ever, the crank.
The crank, yeah.
Only gonna use it twice though. No, 3 times. 4? It's 4.
Use it here.
Twice here and then twice later, right?
I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Once again, math, not my strong suit. We are coming up to Marge though here, where we need to walk past her. We're gonna shoot this nest so we don't have to crouch under it. And if done correctly here, Marge is completely blind. You're gonna crouch at a specific time. He didn't do it, I think. I think she saw him. I'm not sure how this works on Steam, if he's gonna get hit by the bugs now.
On the updated version, the bugs actually won't hit you. Due to the way they patched the game, and it kind of broke Marge's AI. So those on the current patch are living their best life.
True. She does kind of worry me here, though. She's kind of in the doorway.
Yeah. He's gonna FPS swap the squeeze around her, I believe.
Yeah, let's see if it works. Yep, doesn't get hit. Very nice, very nice. Got hit once by a bug, but bugs do so little damage on easy that it doesn't matter. So completely fine. Got the next part that we needed, and now we're gonna go to Marge 1. And this fight here, it's one of those that can be over in 5 seconds, or it can take a minute, depending on how good you are of a shot.
This fight can typically be done really fast with 1 Albert shot and 3 pistol shots, all using enhanced ammo. But if you miss any of them, the fight suddenly takes about 10 seconds longer because Marge will fall backwards and become a lot harder to hit.
Yeah. So let's see here. Freggel lining up the first shot with the Albert. Hits it. And beautiful quick shots there, which is also something we should touch on. Dynasty also doing quick work of Marge. And once again, they are basically neck and neck out of Marge 1.
Yeah, the quick shots are something that's very, very valuable to this game. If you alternate, and it only works with the light pistol, so this one and the broken handgun, if you shoot aimed in an ADS, so alternate between aiming and not aiming, you will actually fire significantly faster. For reasons we don't know, it only works with those guns, but it's a nice little tech that really actually clutches out a lot of fights as a result. As you can see, Marge 1 dying really fast there.
It specifically comes into play a lot in a new game, since we're obviously not using the Albert there. But I think 2 of the fights are very, very reliant on the quick shooting, specifically Jack 2 and March 2.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
But coming up, we actually have one of our not first, but one of the other actually glitches or skips in the game, which is lantern skip. So you're gonna see Freggel go up here and look up at the ceiling. You're gonna see Dynasty do the same thing, and they're gonna do a lineup to walk off into this hole, and ideally they'll land on the ground and skip the Marge cutscene that plays here. Freggel gets it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Dynasty gets the budget version.
He does get budget version. It loses about, I think it's like 6 seconds off of doing it optimally, or 7 seconds.
Yeah, something like that.
We teleport back to the top, and you have to fall down still, which usually means that he was a little too far to the right.
Yeah, but not too big of a deal. Dynasty is still pulling back very, very nicely, honestly. Even with the timer being RTA, this is looking very, very close. And March 2 can definitely be a run killer if done incorrectly.
Yeah, if Marge gets away from either of them, which I don't believe she will, but if she does, that is a net, like, instant 30-second time loss minimum.
Or if she grabs. Let's see.
Yeah.
No grab.
Don't want to get grabbed. Okay, nice. Freggel hitting the shots on Marge. So they're basically going to shoot Marge and saw her down a bit. Dynasty's going to block because console cannot turn around and run fast like PC can.
Yep. Also just safer. Just ensures the fact that it's not going to happen. And there you go. Quick shots from Freggel. Seals the deal. And Dynasty should also be fine here. Is she still on the stairs? I don't think she is. No, she's fine. She's fine. Nice. Yeah, so for whatever reason, Marge can't die if she's on the stairs. So her health pool can be 0, but she'll just not die. She'll just stand there and then go into her little tantrum kicking, arm flailing attack.
Yeah,
which we don't want.
We definitely don't want. Both runners get a very clean Marge too, which is great. Yeah, Marge can't die if she's on stairs, like Nico said, or if she's in any sort of animation. So the way they both did that fight is sets up Marge exactly the way they need her to, which is to be in the middle of the only animation she can actually die in, which is her screaming. So both runners forced her down the stairs perfectly and got the quick kill, which is really nice. So you see the difference between the strat stair console versus PC. Dynasty could not rely on the weapons like the pistol and the Albert because console can't turn as fast as PC can. So he used the saw for most of it, which is really a minuscule time difference, but definitely noticeable.
Oh, for sure. But it also just ensures that she dies because, yeah, again, quick shooting is a dangerous game, especially with the G17, which is notoriously terrible with its bloom. You can aim straight at someone and it can just go to Narnia for whatever reason, that shot. It has no rhyme or reason. You just gotta pray.
Yeah, it is brutal when it happens.
Yeah.
But now we're doing a little bit of a cleanup section in the old house where we go and get a couple things we needed to do before we leave, which is getting the D-series arm, and then we go and grab a few more items and basically complete the sequence that we broke earlier when we went out of bounds, which is getting the red key card puzzles finished. Basically what that means is we have to do the clock puzzle in the main house, because if we don't, the game will soft lock. RE7 has a really cool out of bounds. You can do a lot of really cool things with it, but you are limited dramatically because of the inability to not do those puzzles.
Yeah. If that wasn't the case, if triggers weren't the case, we could actually we could probably go like to the end of the game just with the first out of bounds that we do.
Yeah, you can go really, really, really far in that out of bounds.
All the way to Boathouse, I'm pretty sure, right? You can
I believe you can go to Barn.
Barn is like right before, yeah. So
yeah,
that would save so much time.
You can also get to Boathouse too, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, you can go really, really, really far in that out of bounds, but unfortunately we are trigger bound, so we kind of have to play the game a little more vanilla than we would prefer.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, now we can actually skip phone calls, which is super nice.
Yeah, we no longer have to pick up the phone. I think Dynasty just got cheap shot.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think so. I can't tell though. He has no blood on his screen, so maybe he didn't. But he could have blood turned down. So it's
he could have blood turned down. Yeah, that is optimal to have blood turned down, so you can actually see what's going on.
I should take a note. I should turn blood down. I don't, because when I see blood on my screen, I get tilted because I know I'm closer to dying, and it's probably better for the mental well-being.
Yeah, that's probably on your Madhouse ground.
Yeah,
that you were getting tilted about that, but yeah.
Madhouse does have that problem. You'll see Freggel and Dynasty kind of touch this trigger before going inside because you need to hit the trigger that's on the inside to get the phone call to start.
Yeah, which is funny because you're actually supposed to go inside and pick it up, like you said, or you have to go inside of the what's it called, the RV van to actually trigger it. But for some reason, just brushing it right there on the corner does the same thing.
Yeah, it's very strange.
This game
There's
is
like
very
certain
strange.
sequence breaks that's like, how does this work, but the other ones don't? It's like very strange. Like, how come I just have to touch the RV to trigger the call and I don't even have to answer the call?
Yeah.
You know, it's very weird. It's the same thing with like the lantern skip. How come you just have to look at it through the floor and it works? Like,
it's kind of strange. Though. This guy jumps out. We 30 FPS past him every single time. Very, very easy and simple. And we did see a little glimpse of Grandma just chilling down here for whatever reason. And now the biggest difference in time save, Freggel has to do some nasty stuff. Dynasty is gonna not have to do this. He's just gonna be able to pick up the key instantly and get out of there.
Yeah, that is the Steam versus console. Not Steam versus console, Steam versus Cerity time difference. But as you can see, that's why we give the time advantage to Steam runners who are not using Cerity. However, like we said earlier, because Dynasty is on console, that time difference is not given to Freggel since console inherently loses time based on loads and controller disadvantage.
Yeah. Oh, nice shot by Dynasty. He did get the crawl that I was talking about earlier. Let's see if Freggel also is doing great. He is. Nice one. It's a very, very tight shot that you have to hit while running. It always reminds me of what's it called, Goldeneye, because you kind of do like the strafe running downwards on the
Oh yeah.
underground. And yeah, like Zeke said earlier, we're gonna do a little bit of housekeeping here, finish up the puzzles that we didn't do. So the clock puzzle here, and then we're gonna get the blue key card afterwards. A new route has been discovered for out of bounds, which is kind of in the works, which I'm excited to see if anyone is going to use that. I'm not sure if it was allowed or not. I know there was talks about it, whether or not it was going to be allowed in the tournament. Do you know?
Yeah, so ultimately, we'll leave it at the discretion of runners if they want to use it. It is still so new. There is an out of bounds that was worked and labbed out by the Demented Salad that essentially routed out a time save that is a plausible time save for New Game Plus Easy. So it's not guaranteed that you're going to save time with it until actual timing is done on it against actual splits. But it could, in theory, save up to 10 seconds. And I know just saying that, Sal is going to tell me in chat, he's going to be like, it actually does save time. I timed it, but like a British accent. But yeah, if it's something that the runners can use if they want to, but it's risky. It's incredibly risky. If you mess up, it is actually a very hard to do the movements in that out of bounds if you're not used to it, doing the crouches at the right time and falling where you need to fall. Because if you do it wrong at any point, you lose a lot of time.
Yeah.
So the risk of it is incredibly high. So if a runner wants to use it, they certainly can. But all the power to them. If they pull it off, I would be very impressed. Just pull it off in the race.
Also, like you said, 10 seconds in a run that is this optimized is an insane amount of time.
That is huge. Yeah, that is massive time save. I will have to go back and change my run if that ends up being actually 10 seconds.
Yeah,
that is a monumental time save.
If I told Zeke last year that there's going to be a 10-second time save, he would have probably banned me from his job. Like, taken mod away, everything, said friendship over, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's not, you can't, that's a fake. Like, a lumped 10-second time save put into a category, like RE7's NG plus easy, it hasn't happened in God, I think the last time we had a time save of that large had to have been like over 3 or 4 years ago. Like, it's been a very long time.
I wasn't even around back then, but I'm trying to think
the
what
last
last big time save was for you guys.
It was out of bounds. So the
was it
the
out of bounds?
Yeah, we used to take a different route inbounds, and then it got changed to be faster.
Oh yeah, true.
The Ross Rossi found, and I think that's the last time we had a big time save, and it only saved like 9 seconds or 8 seconds or something, and that was huge at the time. So now, the thought of this saving 10 over on G plus easy would be kind of crazy to see. So I'm interested to see if that's the case. But yeah, I don't think anyone in this tournament's going to do it, but it'd be really cool to see if they did.
We'll see.
Yeah, but now we're watching Lucas, LCS enjoyer.
LCS enjoyer for sure.
This is the average LCS enjoyer, average League of Legends player right here.
POV, you're watching Team Liquid at Worlds.
POV, you're in losers queue, 10 games deep.
POV, you get matched with Tyler 1. Anyway, one of the best villains, honestly, for me at least, in RE7. He does such a great job at portraying like this. He's like kind of psycho in a way, because spoilers, Lucas isn't actually infected by the mold. He's just already like this and has always been, apparently.
Yeah, so Lucas was given a serum at one point to remove Evelyn's hold over him, because she did have a hold at one point. That's why he's able to rip off his nails and stuff like this, because I think at this point he's still kind of influenced by Evelyn. He still has the mold inside of him. First of all, he's never like cured. He just removes Evelyn's control over him, so he still has like the mold powers and everything. Right. But yeah, he's always been like this. He's just always been kind of a weirdo. You learn that in the DLC, but that cutscene kind of paints that picture for you.
Here we go, Boom Room though. One of the most high intense moments in the game. You gotta hit all these shots. Runners can choose if they want to use the Albert or a G17. Albert obviously slightly slow recoil, but if you hit every single shot, it should be fine. And both of them do an immaculate job, honestly. Both of them hoping for a heal here, but I don't think any of them got it, unfortunately.
It is weird the game gives you ammo there when you have infinite ammo in your inventory, but
yeah. And now we gotta bank some stuff. And this is one of the most optimized bankings ever because it will set you up for later in the game. So Zeke, do you remember the exact order you need to bank everything?
Yeah, so it kind of varies per runner, but essentially the way you want to set it up is you want to get rid of the knife first and then the keys. So you'll see the runners drop in knife keys, and then you'll likely see the crank and the arm go after that, and then you'll see the pistol go. Yeah, so they do that and they pull out the shoes so that they can ditch the items. Now, the reason they do this is because if you have NG plus items in your inventory, you can delete them from your inventory. They're the only items you can do this with where you can send them back to the box straight from your inventory. So that's why they took all of them out. They're doing this so they can set up their inventory for when they have to pull them back out at Jack 3. Dynasty missing that shot.
Yeah.
Freggel hits it. They do this so they have the perfect inventory that they need for the rest of the game. This isn't just impacting what's going to happen at Jack 3. This is going to impact what happens at the very end of the game. So that inventorying is super, super important.
It's by far the most important inventory management you're going to do. And if you mess it up at all, it's going to mess you up later because you're not going to have the weapons in the spots that you want, and you might not even have the weapons on one of the hotkeys that you want, which means you have to go into your inventory, fix that to make room for it. But yeah, battery getting picked up here. We're going to call down the elevator, and we're going to deal with a big molded, which is probably the easiest fight if just done correctly.
I would say so, yeah. This fight is kind of cookie cutter on Game Plus because you still run into this dump a lot of ammo into the molded. This actually isn't meant to bring the boss's health down at all. It's just to set up the part health of the boss because you're going to see them shoot his leg because when the leg breaks, the molded dies.
Yep. And looks like they both did it nicely. And as long as you do it in a short amount of time like they did here, before you can actually interact with the elevator button, there's like a certain timer to it where like in between that, as long as you do it, it's completely fine. And looks fine, and they're banking all their items as well. I believe Dynasty did it as well. Yep, he is dead. So everything good coming into the birthday puzzle segment.
Yeah, and if you guys are wondering, the reason why they have to get rid of all their items is because Lucas will not let you actually start this next section if you have anything on you. So that's why they have to kind of set up their inventory the way that they did.
Also, I don't know about you, Zeke, but this puzzle room coming up, it messed me up casually. It took me probably around an hour or something to figure out what I actually needed to do.
Oh yeah, I had to have a friend help me. It was bad. I was so lost.
It is. There's so many ways you can hurt yourself and kill yourself in this room, which is such a clever way to actually do it. But
yeah, there's a lot of red herrings. Which if you're a fan of escape rooms like I am, I love escape rooms. Putting red herrings in escape rooms is some of the most demented, twisted thing you could ever do. Because it's like you could waste so much time, just being lost the whole time. But thankfully,
that's the cool part about escape rooms, though. You gotta analyze. Gotta figure out what you need to use.
Yeah, but then you're gonna be that guy that's sitting there, you're holding onto like a piece of tape you found on the floor. You're like, no, this matters. This for sure matters.
You find a key. You're like, this is gonna open everything.
And then it's just like the last group that was in there. That's that dude's like car keys. He's like, oh, I need that back.
Yeah, it was the cleaner who forgot their keys. Oh.
So this puzzle, we can skip straight to the end of it by just burning off this rope. Again, another trigger that we don't need to hit, which is finding the letters. We can just put the code in here early and skip straight to the water valve. Strange that this is another one that was overlooked. This has no trigger tied to it, so we can just skip right to it.
Yep. Thankfully.
Thankfully, yeah.
And yeah, now we're gonna get our candle wet once again. Then we're gonna turn off the water, and then we're gonna light a birthday cake. That's how the puzzling works, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could cover the flame with your hand, but really.
No, come on, too much. Way too much water.
Yeah. That's a lot of water.
Yeah. He only has one hand. Remember, his other hand got cut off.
I mean, I guess. Well, no, because it got reattached.
Okay, let's not be actuallys here. It's fine.
Okay, actually, I'm not here to question the absolute divinity and consistency of Capcom's lore and logic, but
no plot holes here.
No plot holes here. Just a hole in this wall to put this dynamite in that we can stand 2 feet away from, actually.
Oh yeah, as long as you're standing to the left of it.
That is like a
Nothing
whole
happens.
roll of dynamite. Does no one talk about that? That's an entire roll of dynamite.
That
And we're
would
just,
frog. You would probably have splinters all over you if you
it's
stood
gonna
right
bring
there.
the whole house down. It's gonna level the whole plane. The whole field's coming down after this one.
No, just the wall. It's fine. And now we have a D series head. I think it is.
Yes.
The head
Yep.
we get here. Yeah.
We're gonna grab our items back out of the box. Very important to grab it from the bottom up so we can get all the items in the order that we want. Again, another PC advantage where he gets to mash really, really fast to get all the things out. Whereas console just kind of press A a whole bunch.
Specifically because we can actually double bind stuff on PC, so you can have 2 different buttons, which is super nice.
Yeah.
And now, coming up to our lovely wife and Jack 3.
Yeah, Jack 3. I don't know if they can do it on console, but I'm sure Dynasty tries. The Jack 3 quick kill. Now Jack 3 has a little funny thingy about him, where if you kill Jack's last eye, so basically the whole fight works is Jack has eyes all over his body. After you kill an eye, he then gets eye frames, which no pun intended, but he gets invincibility frames, which means he can't die. He can take damage, but he can't die. The only way to kill Jack is to kill all the eyes. There's a tech you can do where you get one eye down to 1 HP and you leave it there the whole fight by doing damage during the iframes to it. And then at the very end of the fight, if you position correctly and switch your FPS to 30, which makes it easier, but you can do it at variable, it's just hard. If you kill the eye when Jack enters what's called the neutral frame, where he's not doing anything at all, it's like a frame perfect tech, you can save 5 whole seconds,
Yes,
which
sir.
basically skips his death animation.
Doesn't sound like a lot. It is. For a
Yeah,
fight
that's-
that's very on rails, it is an immense amount of time.
It's a super big time save in a category like this, so getting it in a race would be super cool to see.
Also, Freggel, for some reason, didn't have the second guy jumping down going into the boathouse. I don't know if that's Steam specific.
That's just an RNG that can happen. A molded sometimes just won't spawn there, and it just has to do with the game's memory and how it's loading in enemies. Happens at the salt mines too sometimes. You also see them go downstairs here after talking to Zoe. For some reason, this fast forwards her little crafting the serum interaction by 3 seconds, so I can just run up and interact with her instantly.
Yep. And now we have the serum, 2 of them even. And Zoe's gonna tell us to do something, and then she's gonna be upset about it afterwards. We'll get to that. But yeah, Jack 3. You see all the eyes. Those are what we want to pop. It's probably the fight that most RE7 runners practice. I think I have spent countless hours here just trying to get good at it.
Yep, that shot, break the eye down below, is probably one of the harder shots to run. You can see they're both kind of doing the same thing where they damage that one eye on Jack's right side. So they're going to run around Jack. They're kind of synced up. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's really fun, actually.
They're going to go around Jack and kind of pop all these eyes. The idea is you just need Jack to not move. If you can stop Jack from moving, then it's fine. You can for Dynasty there, but...
Yeah. Did miss a few shots. Unfortunately, Jack's arm got in the way as well. It's looking really good for Freggel so far. Looks like he's gonna get it completely fine. Yeah. Didn't get the quick kill. And I don't think Dynasty's gonna get it either, by the looks of it.
No, but both have a pretty clean fight. Jack has a good for either of them.
Yep.
Now they
And from here on,
saw this last eye.
very easy here. And you're gonna see Zoe here in a second tell you to use the serum on Jack. And then afterwards, when we meet her again, she's gonna say, "Why do you only have 1 left?"
Yeah, this is
She
weird.
knows. She knows why we only have 1 left. She told us.
Zoe's a professional gaslighter, I think.
True.
Like, this was probably one of those things where I remember very specifically being like, okay, I used one of the serums, now I have 1 left, and she told me to do it, and I go over there and she's like, why do you only have 1 left? I'm like, I don't understand the question. Like, you told me to do it, Zoe, like, what's the problem?
And that's why you save your wife.
But good job to both runners, taking out what is likely to be like the last boss fight of the game. There's still a lot of the run to go through the ship, and there's a couple more skips that have to be done. Allen 1 and Allen 2 skips both still have to be done, and a lot of opportunities to make or break the run.
Yep, here it comes. This is why we stand Zoe, but this is too much.
Yeah, like, I'm a Zoe appreciator, but even I don't like. This is one of those ones where it's like, yeah, I don't know what she was cooking.
She's like upset. What the hell are we gonna do now?
It's like we're actually gonna cure Mia. Like if you hadn't said that, Zoe, I might have cured you, but now I'm curing her because she didn't ask me that stupid question a second ago.
Yeah, good luck waiting on your uncle, okay?
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah, Uncle Joe will be here in a year.
Does it actually take that long? Sure, it doesn't.
That's how long it took the DLC to come out.
Oh, true. Yeah. There was a little bit of delay, but I guess actual time-wise, it's like only a day or something?
Yeah,
Not
it's
even.
only like I don't think it's too long.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
because
a week or something.
Is it actually that long? Because I know Chris is still there. No shot Chris would stay there for a week.
I mean, Umbrella shows up and they have to like set up this huge like confinement, right? This huge like area.
That is true. That is true. If you haven't played the DLCs, by the way, guys, definitely go do that. The DLCs are absolutely amazing for this game, and they are
Yeah.
usually a steal on either the Xbox app or I don't know how they go for on Steam actually, but
There's probably going
it,
to be a sale. Actually, now that October is around the corner, you're probably going to see a
true
big Capcom Resident Evil sale, and you should pick up Resident Evil 7
for sure.
as a to play casually if you haven't, and to also speedrun it if you want.
Yeah, and you can also enjoy these hair textures from Mia.
Yeah, it's great.
Top of the line in 2017 for sure. It is so bad, actually.
It's like crazy bad.
It's like glued to her head, like on top, but then everything else. Holy moly.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Oh, someone in chat says they actually came with the Steam version, if they recall correctly.
Yeah, I
The
think they
DLC.
ship the DLCs in the gold version now.
Definitely pick that up, because there are, not only are there good, like, sideline stories DLCs, but there's also 21 and Bedroom and, like, I think Jack's 55th is also technically a DLC.
Yep, and so is Nightmare.
Yeah. There's a bunch of amazing ones.
Yeah, definitely worth picking up. Not much going on in the game right now. There's a reason why we're not. It's because we're riding a boat with Mia, and anytime we're near Mia ever, it's usually waiting for something.
Yeah. But we are going to be playing as Mia after this cutscene, which is everyone's favorite part of the run and game, for sure. No one has ever complained about the ship section, right?
Oh, yeah, no, everyone's favorite part.
Mm-hmm.
We love the ship section. Actually, so back in the day, the ship section used to be considered like as soon as you were finished with Jack 3, the run was considered done. There was nothing else that you needed to do. There was nothing you needed to like tech-wise do, and there was no strats. You were just done. But now we have a handful of different things you have to do. Both Allen skips, the elevator molded, and EV's one cycle. There's a whole lot of things you have to do now. That can really determine the run. Well, there's one massive time loss potential, which is Allen 1 skip, which I think is the second biggest time loss you can have if you mess up a skip. Hopefully the runners both get it, but we'll see them when they get there. But now we're playing as Mia. As you see, Ethan just got yoinked.
Yeah. And we will never see Ethan's face in this game. Gotta play Village, I guess? You kind of see him there? Not really.
You see it a little bit in Village. You do see it a little bit in this game when you go back to the guest house at the end of the game, but it's very, very brief.
Yeah, if you could stop the game right there, you could probably get a decent look at it. But yeah, Freggel seems to be a little bit ahead. Again, it's very, very tight. It's gonna come down to game time. Absolutely, I think, unless one of them makes like a massive blunder, which doesn't seem like they are. They seem pretty locked in, zoned in, honestly.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see what the ending time is here. I do think that Freggel is ahead. But we'll see what happens at the end here. Freggel hasn't had any like massive mistakes, or he's actually had a relatively clean run for the most part. Dynasty also has had a clean run, minus the out of bounds blunder with Jack.
Yeah, but that's about it, I think, for him.
Yeah.
Like the only one. At least I can't think of any other. There was a little lantern skip, a little bit there.
Oh yeah, lantern skip. Yep, that's true.
But yeah, this is another trigger. We need to walk over this helmet here and then turn around, and we'll get a flashback, which is insanely bright.
Yeah, it really is a flashbang.
Yeah, like, holy moly. But we're gonna stand here, and this hatch is gonna open. And we're gonna do a little bit of what's it called? What are they called?
Good try.
No. What are they called? This thing that we're gonna go into.
The vents.
Vent. Thank you. We're gonna vent.
No problem. I'm here to translate for the Danish.
Yeah, I'm not an A guy, so excuse my second language.
There is a retry here that Freggel will probably do that I don't. Dynasty might also do now that on console can do it pretty fast.
I think he will, because his retries have been pretty fast actually, from what I've seen. So I would assume this would also be one of them. Let's see. Yep. Also doing it.
Nice.
That is insanely fast actually for console. Goddamn.
Yeah, that load used to take over a minute back in the day. That's not even a joke. It was quite literally over a minute.
That is insane. Who's this fella?
Well, this child here.
Child, I meant, yeah. This is Evie. We'll see more about her later.
Yeah, if you thought Mia's hair textures were bad.
Young Evie is fine.
Yeah, old Evie takes it to a new level though.
Oh yeah, that is something else.
Is mop head for sure.
Cute Snake Eater music, by the way.
Yeah.
Longest ladder in the game for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, it takes a minute.
Not.
It feels like it takes a minute,
but thankfully not actually a minute. Also, a quick drop here we can actually do. Oh, Freggel did not get it. We didn't even touch on quick drops actually, which is like a tech.
Quick drops are a thing where if you run off of a ledge running kind of parallel to it, but you kind of step over it slightly, you'll fall off like half a second faster than you would normally. It's a very like minuscule check that most people won't notice, but it does add up. There's a handful of them throughout the run.
Yeah. I think Zeke explained it the best when he told me that it kind of feels like your right leg or left leg is like slipping off. It's like, that's how you kind of have to feel it if you're trying to do it.
Have you guys ever walked on an icy sidewalk and like one of your feet slips off the side of the sidewalk? It's exactly like that.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Going up to 3F. We're gonna.
This whole section is basically like a you're playing as Mia, and now we're about to play a flashback as Mia, which is gonna kind of explain how you're supposed to do the rest of the puzzles throughout this section. You play as Mia, and you get to meet an amazing character named Alan.
Oh, Dynasty. A little bit of difficulties getting the Taben.
Yeah, a little bit of a interaction blunder there. Yeah.
Alan, absolutely the worst character ever to be made in RE games. I will not be taking questions. If Sings is here, I do apologize.
Yeah, Alan is just. I don't know what factory they built Alan in, but it was wrong. They did it very badly. They I don't know what this guy. His whole purpose here in this whole series was just to mess everything up. That's all he did. He actually just messed everything up. It's kind of impressive.
Well, both Alan and Mia, actually.
Yeah.
Mia has a lot of blame as well. She was babysitting a bioweapon.
That is true. Yeah, Mia's a bad guy. In case anyone hasn't made that clear ever, if you're coming into this, you're like, is Mia bad? Like, she's in Village. She's such a sweet mom, and she's so awesome. It's like, no. You guys need to be aware that Mia's a bad guy. She did this.
Yep.
But Alan One Skip. So the way Alan One Skip works, you're gonna see Freggel here do it first. Is he's gonna interact with the mold on the ground, and he's gonna be positioned in a way that'll let him run out of the room instantly. If you mess this up, this is I believe 19-second time loss. Once you get in and out, perfect. So the idea is you need to get out of the room before Alan calls you, or you will be stuck on the phone call with him. Yeah,
it's gonna be a little bit more difficult on console. There you go. Does he get it?
Yeah.
He does. Yeah.
It's really so scary on console.
It is so tight on console because you can't flick your camera the way that you can on PC. So you have to be like on the very edge there. PC, you have a lot more leeway. So here we're gonna call the elevator that Evie went into, and then we have the perfect amount of time to actually go and get our items. This lines up so beautifully.
Saw off the molded's leg. If you saw off the molded's leg, it is not as fast as shooting it off, but shooting it off is very difficult. But still, getting the molded dead as fast as possible is basically the idea here. And if you get him dead without having too long of a death animation, then you are good to go.
Yeah, if you're going for world record strats, there's something called, well, I dubbed it the Matrix shot after seeing Zeke and others do it. It's basically the molded, as it's falling down, you take a shot, and I think your first shot just has to hit the leg, and the second one as well, if I'm not mistaken?
Yep.
That's what you're aiming for? Yeah. It's incredibly scary, and if you mess it up, you're gonna just lose so much time, and the guy can do an Oscar-winning death animation inside of the, what's it called? inside of the elevator, and that means you can't push the elevator button. What you saw there as well is Freggel putting down a bomb. You're going to see Dynasty do it as well. That bomb is going to come into place later, and this is where you are finger off of your reload button, which is every FPS gamer's worst nightmare. You cannot press your reload button.
And I love mash and reload for absolutely no reason. Like it's just, I get like it's like this weird like tick where I have to make sure I have full ammo all the time, even though I very clearly already have it. So if you press your reload button, that is also the bomb detonate button. So you can't press it. So what they need to do is wait until they get to that bomb. Now what they're doing is they're going to use this bomb to blow themselves through that door while they're on the phone call to Alan, because you otherwise can't open the door. But when you do that, it'll knock you through the door and it'll let you finish the call, but you're now actually through it. So Freggel's going to do that here in a second.
The bomb placement looks a little bit close. He has to get very close here. Yeah.
Nice.
He had to get all the way up in that door's business, though.
Yeah, he had to get really close to it.
Let's see what Dynasty. Bomb placement also pretty close. Looks fine, though. Let's see. Yep, it took a lot of damage, though, but it's completely fine. Don't really care about that. As long as we don't get slapped too hard by a cheap shot, then we should be fine health-wise. Which can for sure happen.
This can be scary for a couple reasons. One, the fact that you can just fail to skip and lose a lot of time, and two is you can put yourself into crit if you get cheap shot, which is not fun at all.
Yeah. Also, why Madhouse doesn't do this strat? They just wait.
Yep, on Madhouse New Game Plus they do it. Unfortunately, it's really scary. But on Madhouse New Game, yeah, they do not do that.
Jeez, dude, on Madhouse New Game Plus, that is crazy.
Yeah, it's spooky. But that's essentially the end of the Mia tape section. Now, the runner's gonna go upstairs, and Alan's gonna be dead.
Beautiful ledge coming up here.
This is the worst ledge in the game that Freggel's about to climb. This thing has a very strange interaction that just doesn't work half the time.
Yep. It's both this one and I think there's one more, right? That is very, very terrible.
Yeah, it's the same ledge but later in the ship.
Right. This guy here can cheap shot you if you miss this shot, so definitely important to actually get him. That Freggel did. And yeah, I guess he's just cleaning up the end part of the tape. Which is also the only tape that we actually have to use. There are a bunch of tapes scattered around casually that you can use to like get more lore or find out stuff about puzzles and stuff like that. But this is the only one that is required, which is super nice for the run.
Yeah, it's very interesting that this is the only one that we're forced to do. Granted, it's the worst of them all, but it is nice we don't have to do any other ones. But I do wish we could skip this one also, since we know where everything is and what to do. But it is a forced interaction.
Yeah, I mean, you would want to skip everything, obviously, to go as fast as possible always.
Any time we can get Alan off the screen is a good time.
True. He is about to get off the screen forever, though, so.
Absolutely.
If you liked Alan, say your blesses. He is, Also, don't call someone this that he does, who has control over you. Just a very bad idea.
Yeah, if there's
kind of reoccurring theme.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, right? It's like, Evelyn is very clearly a very powerful, supernatural bioweapon. And your first thing to do is to call her a bad name? Like, what?
Yeah.
That's a Darwin Award for sure, right?
I think kind of everyone that does that, it happens to.
Yeah.
Shout out to the devs though for actually making his watch go red.
Yeah, that's a good touch.
Very, very nice. And then the textures here are absolutely terrible for whatever reason. And notice on Dynasty screen here where the bubbles come up under her feet. It's literally just expanding. It's like they just took it and just said, okay, now become larger. See?
Yeah, they click and drag you from the corner like in Paint.
It's amazing. Also coming up is the only skippable cutscene in the game because it's not in-game rendered.
Yep, this is the only cutscene that is rendered out of the engine that is in the run that you can skip. Outside of tape cutscenes, there are certain cutscenes in the tapes that you can skip. Yeah. But this is the only actual one in the run that we are forced to like interact with and skip.
It is also the coolest cutscene, unfortunately.
It's a shame, yeah. It's a really well done cutscene. You see a lot of explosions, a big ship starts sinking. You see Mia almost die, which is really cool. And then,
very hype.
Yeah, it's a really, really beautiful cutscene. It's just a shame that we have to skip it.
Yeah. Also, the cutscene, for some reason, the timer doesn't stop when you're watching the cutscene. Not sure why that is. So you actually have to skip it as fast as possible. You can't just, take a sip of
Una
water or anything.
familia.
Yeah, this game has a very, very little downtime after Guest House, basically.
Yeah, your downtime is limited to cutscenes, and if you're not in a cutscene, you really don't have downtime.
Yeah.
All right, so now that we're past tape, we're basically going to kind of backtrack to do what we did in the tape, where we need to get the elevator downstairs and find Ethan. But to do that, we need to get a few things first. Like we need to get corrosive. We need to go past a few enemies, take care of a couple molded. For the most part, this section is also kind of like earlier, where we're just cleaning up a little bit for something we already know about. So it's gonna be a lot of moving around and picking up items in places we've already been.
Mm-hmm. Specifically, this one though is not a place we've actually been, and this is also where I think SMG is, if I'm not mistaken. Casually.
Yeah, it's the worst gun.
What do you mean? It's perfect.
That gun is so bad. It is crazy. It's literally a BB gun. Doesn't do anything.
Yeah, we call it the BB gun. It's awful. But unfortunately, we can't actually interact with this before Mia is done with her falling animation. But we wish we could, because then the log wrench could just go in while we're doing it.
Yeah, it'd be good to have the thing opening while we're falling.
For sure. And we also have a battery. No, sorry, fuse that we need to find, and some spare part. I don't exactly remember what it's called. Insane knife though. Let's see if we can get the god door here from Freggel. Oh, he's gonna do the 30 FPS. Ooh,
that's new.
Interesting. That is new.
That's new age technology.
Ooh, and he gets it because of it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's actually smart.
That's some new kid on the block stuff. I ain't never seen that. What are these kids doing in my video games? Like,
bro,
that is kind of cool that you can do that. That's awesome to guarantee the door skip.
Yeah, because that's a 2-second time save, I think. Something like that.
Yeah, just about 2 seconds.
Gonna bomb this molded up because we are not gonna use our knife because knives are insanely bad in this game.
Yeah.
Even though this one is actually pretty good. I think this one is better than the bar knife, right?
It is on everything except Evelyn.
Right, that's how it is.
For some reason, this knife is bugged, I think. It just does not do damage to Evelyn the way it should.
Oh, a little bit of difficulties getting up that ledge there.
Oh, yep, this is the ledge. This is the cursed ledge.
Let's see if Dynasty can get it. Oh, he makes it look easy.
Easy, yeah. It's just, they're built different.
New kids.
They are simply built different.
True, true, true. Also, I love this part here where you can put the corrosive in and you'll just phase through the molded on the ground. It's like it doesn't exist. That guy's trying his hardest.
He really is.
That molded is a trooper. You're gonna see him on the way back as well. This is wire cable here.
Yeah, it's a wire cable and a fuse that you need to get the elevator working.
Yeah. And I think Zeke, you can talk about this big fat molded coming up, which is probably your nemesis. For some reason,
guy
he
right
hates
here.
you. Yeah, this guy.
This guy likes to body block this area for sometimes no reason at all.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, Dynasty's feeling it.
Yeah, Dynasty got the funny business with him.
Yeah, got the turbo one. Yeah, this guy chilling on the ground. He's trying.
Yeah, that guy on the ground really tries his best. You know, he doesn't have a high pay career, but he's on the payroll, so.
He truly is.
He earns his
now,
keep.
Yep, now we can use the elevator. Very, very satisfying input there if you do it correctly.
Yeah, it's a couple quick mashed inputs. If you know the directions where the items are, you can just get it running instantly. Granted, even though the runs themselves have had some differences and ups and downs, they've video-wise been kind of in the same place the whole time.
Yeah.
They've both been pretty close to each other. No one's really lagged too far behind either other runners, so that's pretty cool.
Very, very nice. Oh, cheap shot coming in on Freggel. That should
That's
mean
a
that
good
this guy.
cheap shot. Yeah, that means this guy's gonna jump. Oh no, actually, not on this version of the game.
Steam version says no, sir. I don't care.
Yeah, that cheap shot is normally good. It usually means that the crawler bullet is going to jump away from you and give you a free pass, but not in this situation.
Oh, let's see. This guy shouldn't be blocking too much either. Fine. And Freggel is just gonna go up to Ethan now. End of Mia section for him. And now it's really, really becoming crunch time because not a lot of time save to be had later. There's a little bit in salt mines, but that's about it, I would say. Oh, Dynasty lagging a little bit.
Oh, yep. Dynasty's
He's cheating.
Just a little bit of lag, but he's all good. I was hoping he didn't like crash or anything. He just might be having some internet problems.
Yeah. Looks to be fine though. And this cutscene here destroys Zeke every single time. This one and the ending of Village. If you show those to Zeke, he will ball out. He'll ball out his eyes.
Sad cutscene. This cutscene's. I love this one so much because it's like Jack is like he's sitting here. He's like, yo, dog. Basically, I'm paraphrasing. But he's like, yo,
no,
dog.
that's what he says.
He's like, my family is like. He kind of explains. He's like, yeah, my family's not evil. I'm not evil. He's like, except for Lucas, maybe, but he's like, we're not evil. And it's like, it's sad because it's like everyone who's currently in this cutscene is still technically alive, right? Zoe is still alive. Jack is still alive. And Ethan is still alive. You'll notice that Marge isn't here because Marge is the only Baker family member who's actually dead. And you know that because there's a lantern on the table that kind of symbolizes her presence, but she's actually dead.
Yeah. The lantern is still burning though, so you know, maybe alive. Fridge. Also, if you look to the left, you can actually see Jack's shadow, and it's only his head floating. For whatever reason, they just forgot to put in his model for his torso.
They forgot that model, and it's so funny every time. Yeah, they forgot.
Also, no TV, by the way. Like, this man has like a surround sound and everything. There's just no TV on the wall.
It's because I think it's because Lucas took it.
Was that their TV? Their living room TV?
Yeah, that was their TV.
That is a crazy bad TV to have. How you gotta have a surround sound like that and then have a TV from, I don't know, 1998?
A CRT sitting there? Yeah, it's kind of weird. Granted, because this game isn't like set really far in the past. This is set in 2017.
Yeah, so like, please, guys. LEDs are not LED. I'm gonna stop talking.
Flat screen TVs were a thing.
Yes. And here we go. This is where Mia 3 would be if we saved Zoe. But
Yeah, this is where you'd have to fight Mia again with a crowbar.
Luckily, no such luck for us. Unless someone donates $100, then we'll do it.
Yeah, that is a funny story. When I ran this game in a marathon on world record pace, and I was donated $100 to choose Zoe instead. It was great. Shout out to Diddle. Thanks, buddy.
That seems like a you problem.
It was.
Seems like you said that you would do it. Once again, the beautiful, luscious hair from Mia.
Yeah, that should be the last of the longer cutscenes. I believe that's the last one. I'm trying to think if there's anything after that, other than like the ending.
Yeah, no. Should be the last one. And Mia is gonna say that she can't control herself anymore. Who could, really, with Ethan around?
True.
He's such a handsome bloke. And he's gonna get sent away with the serum. And now we're coming up to salt mines.
Yeah, and you'll see they have no items. Neither runner has their items. So now they're gonna go back to the item box and pull all their stuff out. And when they do that, their items are hopefully gonna be in the order that they set them up for much earlier. When me and Nico talked about it at the Lucas section, the way they put their items away is all comes down to basically this moment where they're gonna skip the early item box and get the later item boxes for a 3-second time save. Which, if their items are set up correctly, it's gonna work out just fine.
Yep. And by the looks of it, they did set it up correctly, so they should be fine. Wondering whether the runner's Spanish skills have improved through the game. Well, we actually didn't really use Spanish up until like what, a year ago, I think it was, that people found out that Spanish was actually faster.
Yeah, it was very recent. It's actually like 6 months or something like that.
Oh,
Very recent. Yeah. But yeah, the Japanese on the other hand, though, we were really good. We were starting to get real good at Japanese for a while.
Very true. Especially apparently pocket knife is poquito knifedo. So everyone knew that.
Yep, that was an Isan Genki.
Isan Genki, yep, that's hey
That's
baby.
an important one. Yep.
Which it wasn't. It just said hi Ethan. So
Yeah.
scammed. And here, the most powerful weapon in the game that we get at the end, because this game is annoying. It literally gives us the best weapon towards like the last, I don't know, 10% of the game maybe?
Yeah, I would say just about that. It's a good weapon, but we really have no other use for it than here. I mean, you can get it much earlier, but we save it for here because it's like when we don't need it. And the only reason we grab it here now is because we only need it for 2 things, and one is it's basically to blow up this bomb here and to also stun a couple fat molds later. So
Yeah. None of them got any memes. There can be memes there where, you know, the molder will join you on the elevator and you actually have to push them off, which is super bad. But if you take a specific line, you should be fine every time. And here, we only have 1 shot here. What we want to do is hit the molded and the bomb. And I think he missed the molded.
He did shoot it a bit too early. The molded did iframe it, but the molded missed, so he's all good.
He is fine, yeah. That can be scary if you miss it. Specifically if you miss the bomb, because then you have to do the block instead, which is very bad. Dynasty, however, did get it. Both of them, very nice. And coming up, like Zeke said, oh, Dynasty getting cheap shot here. Not what you want to see.
Don't like cheap shots.
Do not. Let's hope this actually hits the wall, Zeke. I know you are one of the few who have seen this glitch.
I feel like I'm the only one to have ever seen that bug.
You are, yeah.
Where the minecart just goes right through the logs and it doesn't break. Now, we never want to see that in a race setting. Actually, you never want to see it just period ever. But we hope to never see it in a race setting because that is very, very unfortunate.
That was crazy when I saw. I was crying, laughing. But yeah, very important part coming up here. We want to get our stuff in the inventory, but we want to put in the serum here first to make the, I don't know, anti-vaccine serum, whatever you want to call it. So we have a limited amount of time to go get our items and go back again before it's done, you know, processing. So you can see here, he just about had enough time. He had like maybe 0.5 seconds left before he actually was able to interact with it.
Yeah, it's a
very,
really
very
tight
tight
timing.
Yeah. It might be, actually, I don't know, is it actually possible on console to make it? Because you can't double mash.
I believe it still saves a little bit. It's not perfect, but I think it still saves a little bit of time.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure still saves time to go over, get the items, run back. But it's a rough world thing, being a console runner.
Sometimes. It really is. I do think that Dynasty skipped out on grabbing the Albert.
Yeah, I think I saw that too. Scary.
Hey, I think he just doesn't need it. Because I think the grenade launcher will do mostly what you need. But this is basically the Salt Mines Gauntlet. You see the runners both do a retry here. This retry speeds you up tremendously. So that's why they do it. You're going to see Freggel kind of run through and take out each of these guys. Wait, pulled the wrong gun for that one. I think, or he might be keeping that guy alive on purpose so that this guy up here doesn't spawn.
Maybe.
See here.
See if he doesn't spawn here on the left side.
No, he did. Spawn. So yeah, okay. That might have been just a mistake then.
Yeah, probably. He did get lucky though, and he was able to squeeze by. Usually you have to like 30 FPS, or that guy, he can block the entire hallway there, and you just have to either 30 FPS or kill him. This is the most important shot of the salt mines. You want to do the newer round between the 2 fat moldeds to make sure that they don't hit you off of this ladder. If you don't do that, they will vomit on you and knock you down, and you will cry.
Yeah, it is brutal when it happens. But both runners here making it through the end of the salt mine. Still very close, at least from what we can see without seeing the in-game time. Yeah. Both runners doing a pretty good job this run, I would say.
Oh, for sure. They've done an amazing job, honestly.
Yeah, it's been a great run to watch.
I'm wondering if Freggel might actually PB. Like he's had a pretty clean run.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. His pace is actually pretty solid here. I think he would need like a 127 something, I believe, to PB, but I mean he's within reach, I think.
Yeah, 127.56 is what he needs to beat this PB. So let's keep an eye out for that in game, because this has been really, really good for him. But yeah, now we're back in guest house, and it's Flashback City everywhere.
Yeah. It's where we just relive all the cutscenes we watched already. They really wanted us to see them again. The CG team, the people who did these cutscenes, the mocap guys, they really, really wanted us to watch these cutscenes, so we have to watch them twice.
True. They did do an amazing job, though. You gotta say. Like,
yeah, these are fantastic.
Cutscenes in RE7 and in Village as well, and in RE4R actually. Like they have been. We've been eating good ever since 2017.
We really have been.
And now we're just doing all the triggers that we need to do to make sure that we can go upstairs on in the attic to fight Evelyn. There
Fight, quote
is,
unquote.
well, yeah, arbitrary, but yeah.
Yeah, it's the EV fight is that would say the weakest of all the boss fights in the run because of how it's really not a boss fight.
Yeah.
Especially on New Game Plus. Even on New Game, it's really not. It's really simple. But the hard part is this one cycle here. So you can see Freggel block a hit and try to get to Evelyn to inject her before the second blast comes out. It's called the EV1 cycle.
Lineup looks good. Yep, should get it. Nice.
Nice.
That is the EV1 cycle from Freggel. Let's see if Dynasty can match that as well. It's all about the angle that you approach her from. Dynasty is very far to the left here. This is kind of scaring me. He's going a little bit more right now. He should be fine. Oh, no, he's actually going to take the safety. Yeah, he took the safety one there. Didn't want to be greedy and lose 10 seconds. That is kind of unfortunate. But yeah, the beautiful hair of old Eevee coming into play.
Yeah, very nice hair.
Let's see if it's different on Freggel on Dynasty. It looks a little bit different. The textures of her hair can like go absolutely crazy sometimes, and it'll be like spiky, got to be hairspray everywhere, which is the best in my opinion.
Yeah. Now the very end of the fight here, it's just basically home improvement. Hold down the saw on Evelyn, and she will stay. Basically, she'll die the second she comes out of her startup animation. And now we're basically just waiting for the end of the game. You're gonna see Dynasty do the exact same thing here, and we're gonna wait for Evelyn to pick up the runners, and they're gonna saw off her hand and finish off the fight and subsequently the game.
Yes, sir.
Assuming they both get 4 shots with the Albert to kill Evelyn. Let's hope.
Oh yeah. Surely that's gonna happen. Surely none of them are gonna have to shoot 8 times, right?
Hopefully not.
Or it's just gonna eat all the bullets, which I think happened once to Niddle, which was he just couldn't end the game.
Yeah, that is not fun.
For whatever reason that happens sometimes, we don't know what causes it, which is so weird. This game has a lot of weird stuff like that, where it's like, we can't really explain it, it can just happen.
Yeah, it's strange sometimes.
There we go, Freggel about to saw his own kneecaps off. There we go. And then our big homie Christopher Redfield is gonna send us a gift. It's the gun we've been using the entire game.
Amazing.
Very pog.
Alright, Dynasty saws himself out too. Nice. GG's to Freggel, finishing up his run.
Let's see. I'm assuming he's going off of in-game time as well on his splits. Like, probably will not PB, but it's going to be very close.
It's super close for sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
no, 127.56, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's missed. I think he's missing his timer is right now. Dynasty now also getting his 4 shots. Like GG to Dynasty. I'll stop Freggel's timer when it actually stops.
Yep. I can stop Dynasties as well.
All right.
There we go. 128.16 from Freggel, by the looks of it at least. We still have to figure out what Dynasty's time is to make absolute certain.
Yeah, 128.16. Nice job.
Very good. For a race, that is really good, honestly.
Yeah, that's a super good race time.
And there we go. Dynasty
And
also.
Dynasty's GG's to both runners. Let's see Dynasty's IGT. 129.35. Dang, it's a really close run. Those are both really solid runs, honestly, for a race.
For sure. And you could kind of tell it came down to the out of bounds, most likely.
Yeah, the out of bounds definitely was a big chunk, I would say, of that time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Dynasty had some issues with Jack, but I mean, considering the console to the PC deficit, he put up a pretty solid run there. So honestly, GG's to both runners.
Yeah, GG's guys. That was amazing.
Yeah, and congrats to Freggel for the win.
He will move on for tomorrow.
Yep, Freggel will be playing Impossible tomorrow.
Yep.
So keep an eye out for that. And now we're gonna try to set up our next run, our next race. We'll see if our runners are online. If we hope they are, so stay tuned.
Please.
Yeah, really hoping. So we will be back in a bit.